Hello again.
Again.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Marlin.
AKA Gee. And while summer may be over, doesn't mean we can't watch a kinda summer-themed video. Today we're going to be reacting to the review of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man by Decker Shado. Known to many as the internet personality with the best hair, but some may beg to differ. He's a long-going reviewer of action movies, horror movies, all types of movies, and he's a pretty entertaining guy covering all types of genres and action stars, and a common theme of his is every year he does the summer of insert action icon name here. A few years ago he did Steven Seagal, which we've reacted to a few reviews from. He did Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, and today we're looking at the Running Man review, which, despite being called the summer of Arnold Schwarzenegger, came out in October. I guess he's got a different definition of what summer is compared to the rest of us.
Climatologically inflexible.
Anyway, we watched The Running Man about a month or two ago and really enjoyed it, I'd say.
Yes.
Fun, kind of satirical film, and Richard Dawson was a kick-ass villain, so without further ado, let's watch.
Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and welcome back to the Summer of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's time to cover another one of those big requests and a movie based on a novel with The Running Man. More loosely than you might realize, as The Running Man was written by Richard Bachman, but wouldn't you know it, that's actually a pseudonym for Stephen King.
Yep.
Well, you would know it if you read the novella, where the protagonist starts out as a racist before seeing the light, and among his many romps around the northeastern United States, what do you know, he wound up in Derry, Maine. All in all, I think it would be interesting to track down the original novella and do a Stephen King, Richard Bachman drinking game to what's inside, but that doesn't answer the question as to what in the hell the
Nostalgic
movie is
Greg already has the Stephen King drinking game.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Benjamin Richards, a former police officer framed for a crime he didn't commit. However, wouldn't you know it, there happens to be a game show where contestants can win their freedom. Or die. They mostly just die, but this time the contestant is Schwarzenegger, which means biceps battles and the body count rising. So let's take a look at The Running Man and see the man running. Our story begins in the mystical, futuristic year of 2017. You'll never guess.
It's like a
the economy
year.
has gone to total shit and the government has gone bad, using the power of TV to control the masses, either through distracting them with the ultra-violent game show, The Running Man, or straight up censoring any and all works not sympathetic with the establishment. But of course, sometimes you need more than a boob tube to squelch the unwashed masses.
Food riot in progress. Approximately 1,500 civilians. No weapons evident.
Proceed with Plan Alpha. Eliminate anything moving.
I want an assault on all joggers, dancers, and children playing in the street. Leave the quadriplegics alone. They've had about enough. Schwarzenegger here, playing Ben Richards, refuses to comply, though, because think of the children!
All rioters must be eliminated.
The hell with you. I will not fire on helpless people.
Only the ones currently getting government assistance. Fuck 'em. Unfortunately, Ben's desire to disobey orders to save innocent lives isn't shared among his crew, and for long, he is detained, and the innocent people below are slaughtered just the same. We suddenly jump a year and a half into the future to find that Ben was sent to prison, but it's not all that bad. He's got a few buddies here. Yaphet Kotto, who plays William Marlin, and Marvin McIntyre as the tech head Harold Weiss. Him having knowledge of computer technology and the guards being stupid enough to not have their entered passwords show up as asterisks is all the good old-fashioned prison riot needs in order for them to deactivate the perimeter fence and render their collars completely safe. Well, that and enough time to get the computer to accept the codes in the first place, but it always makes me wonder, do future prisons have a contingency plan in case a computer locks up? But in just a few moments more, they do bring the fence down, and then it's onward to freedom! Ish. This is the dystopian 2018-19 place, and they can only get their explodey collars removed by the underground resistance, who don't entirely trust Ben.
He's the butcher of Bakersfield.
Come on, Mick. You can see through that crap. It's network propaganda.
We don't know that.
You mean they say things on TV that aren't entirely true? That wild Hollywood imagination. Despite this, they help him just the same, and just because the resistance helped him, that doesn't mean he has any intent of helping the resistance. Ben's plan is to just go into hiding and meet up with his brother for help along the way. Getting to his brother's apartment is easy enough, but the man isn't answering.
Security code accepted.
445566. The hell is the code for your apartment 306-445567? Upon entering, it seems his brother isn't here. Or is now his sister. I'm not judging. However, when the tenant returns home, it's kind of hard to see a family resemblance. She doesn't notice anything amiss, though, and goes about her daily routine, watching Jesse Ventura hold an exercise show as Captain Freedom, before it's rudely interrupted by a news bulletin about the escape of Ben Richards.
If you see this man, do not approach him. Contact your local block warden. He is considered armed and dangerous.
Damn it, why can't the ladies from the aerobics show magic their way into her living room? This would be Amber Mendez, played by Maria Conchita Alonso, who you might know as Leona from Predator 2. She's the new tenant here because Ben's brother kinda sorta got an all-the-way re-education. And funnily enough, even though the lights and TV are controlled through voice commands, it seems they never thought to add calling the police to the list of things you might want to do hands-free. Also, around the same time, the host of The Running Man, Damon Killian, played by Richard Dawson, has seen the impressive footage of Ben Richards' daring prison escape.
I want him.
Can't have him.
Why not?
Damon, you know our contract. We never get military prisoners.
Who's a military prisoner? He's still at large.
And there we have Kurt Fuller as Tony, as one of the sort of tech heads in this operation. There's quite a few big-name actors in this. How they're going to get a man who's not caged up and ready to ship is a problem for another day. Ben's got to keep moving and find something to help him in Amber's apartment. Her music won't be of any use, besides it hasn't been approved by Dear Leader and is therefore contraband. The money, on the other hand, that might help him flee the state.
You don't have a travel pass.
You do. Now I do.
Because in the years since the world turned to shit and the police state cracked down hard on everyone, they removed the photo part of photo identification just to be nice. However, he is taking her along as well. Possibly because it's still her name attached to the ID, but it's kind of hard to tell. They're flying to Hawaii, and he presents her pass as if it's his own, and it's accepted. However, their second pass is somewhere in the purse. Oh my, this is taking so long.
Want to move it up there? We got a plane to catch.
Go on, go on.
You can't live with them. You can't live without them.
Checkpoint became a lot
Best
easier in the
only
future.
pass the metal detector, and boom, you're going towards the plane. Fuck, I wish flying was as hassle-free as it is in The Running Man. Unfortunately, though, despite them going through all the checkpoints, Amber remembered that screaming for help is a good way to get the attention of the police. Therefore, Ben tries to make a run for it, way out in the open where it's very easy for the police to catch up to him and net his ass in short order.
You're moving on that.
What is it about only killing things that move?
Don't move. Can't see us if we don't move.
This means Ben is brought in front of Damon, host and producer and important catch-all guy of The Running Man, and asked if he would like to be their special guest for tomorrow's broadcast.
Fuck you.
But it seems like he's not exactly on board with the idea. Or he's more interested in things that they don't like on network television. So Damon sweetens the deal. And by that I mean he just so happened to track down and get Laughlin and Weiss through unspecified means. And if Ben isn't going to be a sport and agree to participate in The Running Man, he sees no reason he can't just use these guys instead. So that's a yes on will Richards be the lucky contestant. Amber, on the other hand, gets to go home and forget about all this. Spare the news reports about Ben being captured at the airport. Quite exciting, especially with all the magical people he supposedly killed.
Like the ticket agent and security guard, Richard shot at point-blank range when he arrived at the airport.
That's not true.
There were...
Well, yeah, but we all know how news amnesia works. You notice all of the glaring problems on the subject of the story that you actually know about, but next thing that rolls around, yeah, fuck it, it's gotta be true. It's on the news after all. Amber, however, starts to question if she really had been spoon-fed bullshit all this time, but never mind that for a bit. The Running Man is on. As this is a 3-hour show with a massive budget, naturally it starts off with a musical bit and many sexy dancing ladies.
Choreographed by Paula Abdul, apparently.
I can get behind that all day long. So while the show's getting all the preparations out of the way, while already airing, Amber just can't shake the question of what else the news has lied about, so she's sneaking into a few places she shouldn't be. Oh, but I know that you'll hate me if I don't include this scene of Ben signing his contract before going on stage.
Don't forget to send me a copy.
Kinda wish he showed up at the end of the movie with it though, like, here's that copy you wanted, bam, stabs it into his leg. Before they bring him out though, they have to introduce him to the world with the opening to this very movie. though it seems the broadcast version may have been edited slightly.
Crowd is unarmed. Repeat, unarmed. Abort attack. McAllen, Yankee 99er.
The hell with you.
Somebody had to take the babysitter home. Then I noticed she was sitting on her. We can't. I grab her. We can't. Oh, just thinking about her. Can't.
Now that they've nicely poisoned the well, Ben Richards is revealed to all the jeering and calls for his death that he could ever want. Of course, it's not guaranteed he's going to bite the big one for tonight's game. After all, Killian is quick to remind everyone about last season's winners.
Whitman, Price, and Haddad. There they are. And at this very moment, they're basking under the Maui sun.
Still wearing their Running Man jumpsuits. I know there's supposed to be a food shortage in this movie, but I didn't hear anything about a run on linen. He still has one more surprise in store for Ben, though. You remember the Resistance members who were going to be used in today's show unless Richards took their place? Well, Killian is going to have them join today's show anyway, because honesty is for suckers.
Killian, I'll be back.
Get it? I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the joke. As they blast
Aw, you didn't show the comeback.
Swirling every which way with their perilous journey into a safety net, Amber is busy slipping into where she isn't supposed to be, finding out because of the very obvious labels that the massacre that indicted Ben Richards was in fact edited for television, and the raw footage happens to be right here alongside it. Listen, sweetie, don't freak out. It was just formatted to fit your screen. We don't get to see your fate just yet. Instead, the movie focuses on the fact that all three contestants have made it down into the game zone. But this is a game show, after all, so the runners aren't the only ones who join in. Audience members get to pick which of the stalkers they want to kill them.
I like my men big and cuddly.
Who is it?
Sub-Zero!
Obviously not the Mortal Kombat variety. This predates that by 5 years.
He had to make that
Sub-Zero's
joke.
a gigantic sumo hockey player man thing, played by Professor Toru Tanaka. His job is to track down the runners and kill them. This task is made considerably easier as they do shit like this.
Guess they want us to stay.
And considering the stalkers are the only real threat to the runners on the course, I'm not sure why they don't just do a boss rush from room to room. But I guess with the commercial breaks being so damn long on network television, they need something for them to do. After all, they're so freaking long, you can spend that time preparing fresh microwave popcorn from Jolly Time, including my favorite flavor, the big cheese. For being a guy who kills people trapped in a box for a living, Sub-Zero doesn't seem particularly effective at it. Sure, he's got to put on a show, and toying with his prey works well for that, but he passes up many opportunities to just kill these guys, giving Ben enough time to catch the motherfucker with barbed wire.
Now he's dead and cuddly.
Oh no. You mean in this ultra-violent gladiatorial showcase, people sometimes die? And sometimes they're not the people that we actually want to die? Who could have ever seen this coming? But in terms of one-liners...
Here is Sub-Zero! Now, Plane Zero!
Not one of your best, Arnold.
Don't get it. Would that technically mean he's doing better now? As with many game shows and movies, it's kind of hard to figure out what the rules are of the Running Man, or if such things even matter, as the next audience member can't decide between sending Buzzsaw or Dynamo, so after his time is up, they say fuck it and send in Buzzsaw and Dynamo. Buzzsaw played by Gus Restwish, and Dynamo by Erland Van Lith. Who actually is a real opera singer, and that is his real voice there. Not sure what that has to do with it being an electricity-based enemy with a plastic mohawk, but oh, but there's one more surprise for today's program. A new contestant shoved right into the middle of the game. Amber Mendez.
She's flaunted the law and traditional morality all of her life.
Oh, hey, tell some lies about me now.
We don't lie.
Oh, well, that settles it then. It's okay, guys. They said they don't lie. They go ahead and blow any misdemeanor she may or may not have had in her life way the fuck out of proportion, as well as claim she's Ben Richards' lover, before launching her down to be gleefully murdered for a live studio audience. Now, who will find Ben and his friends first? The stalkers or the stalky?
Hey, Richard, where is Amber?
I know! This, oh, your fault! It seems that Weiss is directing the team now, as his satellite relays are in this area, and that means he might be able to find the uplink codes needed to hijack the transmission. Unfortunately, the course of actions made considerably hard with the fact that the stalkers are still after them, and Dynamo has a goddamn car. Ben and Laughlin end up separated from Weiss and Amber and find themselves pitted against Buzzsaw. Damn it, why'd you have to go and do that? Schwarzenegger is protected by plot armor. He'd been fine. So Laughlin is bleeding out while Richards is dragged around the arena. However, while they're wasting their time with that, Weiss and Amber manage to track down the satellite relay dish, and the uplink password is right at their fingertips.
Great hexagonal decode system. Not impossible. Just gonna take a little time.
But they need to hack and override the interface to reveal the code. Which makes me wonder why they didn't just hack to get the uplink working in the first place, but I digress. While Weiss pokes random buttons, Ben is fighting for his life against Buzzsaw. Our hero can't die, but he can make us question if we really wanted to survive this onslaught.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not every day you catch your favorite good guy castrating people with a motherfucking chainsaw. So, yeah, ow. But in any case, Weiss manages to crack the code, which means he has the code, which means he tells Amber the code. Good thing, too.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna die, but it's still sad.
As it's considerably harder to remember things after you've had a little too much white lightning. For better or worse, Dynamo seems less interested in killing Amber and more into, yeah. But have no fear, Ben Richards swoops in to draw his attention. This works a little too well, and when Dynamo gets back into his car to run Richards down, he's gotta act fast to avoid him. But that all changes when Dynamo crashes his car.
Oh, God, God! Go to commercial! Jesus Christ! I have no power! God, go to commercial!
Come on, Dynamo, it's annoying as fuck in a show when shit's just about to go down and then suddenly the little logo pops up and you're hearing all about all the ways you can save money on car insurance.
No. I wouldn't kill a helpless human being. Not even sadistic scum like you.
Well, that's fine, but at least go Terminator 2 on him and bust his kneecaps. The lack of brutality obviously upsets the bloodthirsty studio audience who really wanted to see Ben Richards put to justice for the horrible things that he really did for real. If they want blood, I guess there's always Laughlin, who has spewed quite a healthy amount all over the set, but keeps breathing long enough to tell Ben that he must bring Amber and the access codes to the Resistance, so that he did not poetically die for nothing! Of course, he's not the only one with an important message for Ben. During the commercial break, Killian decides to offer him a job. Why have Richards running around killing all his stalkers when he could have a stalker played by goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger? Of course, though, Ben tells him to take the contract and eat it.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
Okay, let's try that again with 2 more days paid vacation. See if he bites then. So instead of being hired, Killian intends for Ben to be fired. Or fried. Friared? However the hell this pun works, they stick another stalker on him. Fireball, played by Jim Brown. Trying to find their way to
the hard way.
flamethrower jetpack flying motherfucker on their tail, so Ben distracts him, allowing Amber to slip away. Now they just have to remain nice and quiet.
Oh, that's shot.
Or maybe scream loud enough that he goes deaf and can't find you anyway. Trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. The bodies she has stumbled upon just so happen to be those of the alleged winners of the last season. Seems the studio didn't exonerate them and send them off to Maui, but rather kill them and stuff them in the corner. Don't worry about Amber, though. Ben stuffs Fireball into the corner and kills him. This means the show's down to only 1 stalker.
Forget it, Killian. I won't do it.
But fuck that, Jesse Ventura's not about to take the risk of Arnold Schwarzenegger or fluoridated water. So he doesn't go after them. Not saying that nobody is, as the duo are quickly trapped in another cage. This isn't the TV studio, though. They're busy doing some quick touch-up CGI on another fight before it airs. This turns out to be the Resistance! Yeah, the set of the Running Man just so happened to go through the studio's uplink towers and the secret base of the Resistance. Who knew? So they accidentally got the code to them safe and sound. But what's this? It seems Killian has some amazing footage to show of Ben Richards' final battle during the last commercial break.
It's funny, but wish we could have gotten a real fight with Ventura.
Running, fighting of one-liners. He just so happened to slip into a pit of death and be skewered so fast that they were still in the middle of selling you cola when it happened. Obviously, as Ben and Amber are still alive, this footage was just wishful thinking on Hollywood's part that in the early 21st century, CGI would not look nearly as screamingly fake.
You should be happy we're officially dead. We can go anywhere, do anything.
No, don't you understand it? They'll never let us out of here alive. They can't afford it.
Well, that was their plan from the get-go. It's just now you can run out and show the world that they're obviously lying for 2 minutes and then get killed. But they just so happen to be in the rebel base with unedited footage of the massacre and the code to override the broadcast. They'll need to keep it overwritten, though, so Ben and the Resistance arm up to take over the studio. Which means they probably never need the override code in the first place, and give the television audience the truth!
Previous winners, Whitman, Price, and Haddad. Remember them? There they are at this very moment, basking under the Maui sun.
But if in this world you can just CGI it up and convince millions of people that these guys are still alive, how is this proof? Couldn't they just dismiss this as possible CGI just the same? Maybe, but they do follow up with raw footage of the massacre showing a version of events not exactly in line with the official story. And if you need another reason to think maybe you can't trust what you see on TV,
It's showtime.
which wouldn't be a problem if they didn't just tell the world that he died minutes earlier. I mean, it's not exactly like that was their only option. Last season's winners won and then were killed. You mean they couldn't just congratulate Ben as the new season's winner and then kill him while the cameras are off? So the guards opened fire on the rebels, leading to quite a lot of crossfire with the not quite so live anymore studio audience. At least the cameras are still rolling so we can hear Killian try to reason with Ben in what little time he has.
For 50 years, we've told them what to eat, what to drink, what to wear. For Christ's sake, Ben, don't you understand? Americans love television.
It's kind of funny that filmmakers never seem to contemplate that maybe by now people just wouldn't give a shit about TV anymore. I haven't watched it in years, and from my experience, I'm not alone in that regard.
People still watch it today a little.
Swearing he was just giving the audience what it
Especially
wants.
during the pandemic.
The audience, what I think they want.
No, Pepsi tried that spicy cola thing. It didn't end well. But the movie did, so happy ending! Killian dies and Ben is exonerated. It's because for some reason everyone watching readily accepts that they've been lied to for years without question. More important than that, though, is that Amber and Ben hook up. Cue the romantic ending music. I don't know if I'm understanding the lyrics 100% on that one. But anyway, that was The Running Man. And it does have its share of problems, but it's a classic for a reason. That being the fact that it is ultra-violent entertainment starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it also satirizes the idea of ultra-violent entertainment, which it seems is always a concern of moral busybodies. Funny how 2016's Doom would cause anyone in the 20th century to faint, while today we find fairy tales as they are originally written to not be appropriate for children. Either way, the future vision is obviously a product of its time, as they often are. Concerns about waning resources and economic instability cranked up to 11, the popular entertainment mediums of the time also made more extreme, and further musing of the results of a generation raised to blindly believe whatever the idiot box tells them to. It's quaint and silly, but also thought-provoking. Also, it works pretty damn well as a movie, following our protagonist as he just wants to be left alone, but the obstacles the world makes for him force him to fight for the truth. Not all of the plot points really mesh, though, which is a shame. The Resistance supposedly never knew the relays were in the Running Man course, despite it not only being broadcast to the world, but the fact that Resistance secret base was also on the Running Man course. Overall, the Running Man tries to say somewhat profound things about entertainment and a TV-centric society, which is undermined slightly by its own desire to be a badass action movie, but on the plus side, that does mean it's a badass action movie. Not a masterpiece, but a very entertaining one, and a surefire way to scratch that 80s itch, coming in at 4 big fat opera singers with Pikachu powers out of 5. Today, people seem to be musing on what the future of video game consoles is going to be, but myself, I'm just wondering what the next generation is going to be using as their primary source of entertainment. And my money's on smart devices. Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado. And remember, the future is just like today, only fucked up. So welcome to the future.
He always has notes during his end credits. So, let's see. Of course, there was the last bit with Dynamo at the end, where he goes up against Amber once more. It's not the most plot relevant, considering he was already out of commission before being surprised back into commission and taken right the fuck back out. But also, it is edited a bit odd. Some sources suggest it was an attempted rape by Dynamo, which the way it's shown in the movie doesn't seem like that any more, typo there, than him simply trying to kill her, except of course he goes from pants on to pants off in the span of a cut, which makes that look a lot more likely of a claim. Also, while it's easy to draw similarities between The Running Man and Smash TV, it's also obvious that Smash TV was inspired more by Robotron than anything else. I also kind of wish game shows didn't evolve into reality shows, or at least maybe have a reality show that actually has the ultra-violent things people of the past were so worried about. I might actually watch TV if something like that aired every week. Let's see, there's an after review clip.
Yes.
Manic Expression. Website group he's part of.
Yeah. Manic Expression.
We should have taken a trip to Hawaii.
I had the shot for it, but you fucked it up.
So that was Decker Shado's review of The Running Man. It was fun.
Yeah, he is fun. He's obviously well scripted. He writes good stuff, but it's a burst, and it's good delivery. He's well spoken. He's facially does a lot of different things.
Yeah, and he does that. His trademark is going the gritty moment, where he just gets all hyped up and lowers his voice for that. And sometimes he goes a little over the top with that, but it was pretty balanced here. It was a good recap of The Running Man, of all the parts he thought were most important, and as he explained, he didn't think it was that important to show the possible attempted rape by Dynamo near the end. And he had a few jokes here and there, show a few clips from some stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part, it felt more like a retrospective of the movie, but it's definitely a review with a few jokes here and there.
Yeah, observations are pretty good, and he works in a little social comment every few minutes. So
yeah,
it's kind of a big span that he works with.
My one disappointment was that after he showed Arnold saying, "I'll be back," he didn't show Richard Dawson saying, "Only in a rerun." Because that's the best line in the movie, and I think my favorite of the one-liner bits.
Yes. Also, it's you only have so much time in a short review to talk about things, but I don't think the review gave credit to really what a bad guy Richard Dawson was.
He was, yeah, he's the best thing in this movie. Just a great villain, all about the ratings, living it up for the camera.
Just kind of a slimy lowlife.
And this is fresh off of his, I think, run on Family Feud. So, very different role for everybody that grew up watching him.
Yeah, very different, but enough of the same so that you could see how it wouldn't take that much by 2017 to have all kinds of nasty things on television. Boy, I'm glad that never happened.
And a lot of people, it's very popular these days to compare Orwellian future movies, apocalyptic movies, to compare movies with that stuff from back then to how things kind of are today. And there's maybe a few, there are some good social commentary moments in this film, and a few parts that are a little eerily ring true, I guess. But once again, it's hard. It's just a silly, fun action movie.
Yes. It is not a serious action movie. I'm not sure any action movie is serious, but this is not one of them.
Some are. And it's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I think, best films. Yeah, he's not like going to win an Oscar or anything, but he's pretty enjoyable and plays a pretty sympathetic, but still doesn't have the patience for bullshit hero.
Yes. He's, every once in a while it shows me as a younger actor, he's got this look on his face like he's really angry or really into the moment of the violence.
And the supporting cast, aside from Schwarzenegger and Dawson, the actress who plays Amber, I don't think she was bad, but I don't think they gave much good writing for the character. Like, she does help out near the end, but most of the time she just comes off as real whiny.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of typical for the that kind of action movie. The female leads really aren't leads. They're
Yeah, but she was really whiny in this one. And I knew that the guy with the glasses, Weiss, was gonna die, but it was still kind of sad, and it did feel a little sad as well when Yaphet Kotto bit it, just because it's Yaphet fucking Kotto.
yes.
And Jim Brown as Fireball. Cool look, good intro, but they really took him out of the film pretty fast.
They didn't do a lot with him. I'm just thinking that there was a lot of Jim Brown that was on the editing floor.
And Jesse Ventura, he's a fun character as the ex-stalker exercise tape guy, Captain Freedom. But once again, they didn't really use him as much as I thought they would. Because in the film, we keep seeing many scenes of him sitting with the stalkers, and you see him kind of looking conflicted, looking back on his past fame as a stalker, and then he comes in refusing to do it, and which leads to the fake CGI fight between him and Schwarzenegger, which is fun, but I was kind of expecting him to come back at the end, like maybe be on the good guy's side.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never shows up again.
Yeah, we don't want to have too much character development in any of these things.
Sometimes they do have it, and if done right, it doesn't hurt.
Yes.
It's funny enough, this came out the same year as the other film Ventura and Schwarzenegger did, Predator. But yeah, it's a fun movie, and this is a fun recap of the film. And I like Decker. He's a lot of fun. His taste in movies is very similar to mine, so I had a really easy time getting into him over the years.
Yeah, and by the minute it's not very long, but he packs it in there. It's like a well written action movie where something's happening every second. That's just what his, and I'm not so sure his hair is that important.
Well, if anyone ever decides someone else should take the title, let me know. And Stephen King, under the fake name Richard Bachman, just to see if he could be successful without the name King.
And apparently, yes. Or successful enough to get a screenplay written from it.
Well, this has been our reaction to Decker Shado's 2017 review of The Running Man from the summer of Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though this video had come out in October of that year. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, check out the other vids on the channel. If you like those, maybe subscribe, and I will see you again soon, and hopefully have you back soon.
Meh.